Well, alright guys, looks like we are now live and in person. Thank you for joining us. My name is ID Jester. Thank you so much. We of course are looking at Tigers at the Hunt. And of course, this game is being developed by Silicon Soft Systems Incorporated. Publishers are Matrix Games and Slytherin. You can of course check out their websites listed there if you want to find out more information about Tigers on the Hunt. Of course, I'm ID Jester. There is my Twitch and YouTube channels. And our upcoming schedule for Twitch, which is going to be, obviously, Monday today. We are looking at 2 o'clock, our scenario creation part 2. We're going to finish up our scenario that we started last week. On Wednesday, we're going to be playing... I'm sorry, this is Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to be playing at 8 p.m. We're going to finish our scenario Revenge for Bruno. Hopefully you guys have been watching that scenario replay as we are working on our scenario Revenge for Bruno. Wednesday, February 24th, 9 o'clock p.m. 9 o'clock p.m. We're going to be playing probably this scenario that we're actually creating today. I don't actually have a name of it yet, but probably going to take a look at that on Wednesday. And then, of course, Thursday, February 25th, Tigers on the Hunt full release. So if you guys are interested, make sure to check out the Matrix Games website, the Slytherin website. Find out all the information. Full release, February 25th. So here we go. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Now let's go ahead and get started back into our scenario. Thanks one and all for joining us today. I have to apologize for the first episode we did with this scenario creation. I was unable to record it for you guys, so I had to kind of redo it on my own and post it up there for Matrix Games to be able to give you guys that information. So hopefully you checked out part 1, where we created our map, and then also started working on putting our units and such together. So hopefully you checked out part 1. Well, this is going to be a continuation of that. Again, I apologize I was unable to do that recording for you, but this one shouldn't have any problems. So we're actually going to go ahead and open our scenario here, and we have live stream A actually is the one we are working on. So there it is in all of its glory. This is what we were working on last time. So hopefully, again, as I mentioned, hopefully you guys got a chance to check that out so you understand the basic concepts behind creating the map and altering it. In fact, that's what we're going to start this episode with. As I mentioned when we were creating our map, we want to, everything you do and change and alter and allow into the map can change the ebb and flow of what's going on. And I don't really like the fact that we have British units kind of coming down here, because they can basically just cut right into the village this way. So what I'm going to be doing is, I think for a better flow for our map, we're actually going to be creating a couple extra roads. We're going to have our extra British units come in here, and we're going to put a road in this way that connects, and then maybe a road that links down this way. So it gives the British different avenues to approach the town. So it makes it more of a sweeping engagement as opposed to a different kind of engagement there. So let's go ahead, for those of you who weren't able to watch our previous episodes, this way you'll get to check out a little bit of map creation, obviously. First thing we want to do is actually switch over to the paintbrush up here in the toolbar up at the top. There's 2 modes: scenario mode, where you have your normal mouse cursor, and of course your paintbrush mode. So what we're going to do here is add in some dirt roads, and this way let's first add in some clear terrain and figure out where we want. So what I'm thinking is we'll have a road kind of come in, swoop down, and come this way, and then the road will also kind of veer off and come this way. So we're going to go ahead and clear a path for the road there, and we'll go ahead and put some grain back in there like that. Okay, so let's go back to our roads here. So Put that in, then we'll put this one in. Then we're going to need a little tri piece, and you can see just how easy that is. And then we're going to go back and put in a straight road. And then we're going to need a 4-piecer, it looks like. So we're going to scroll down the list. Is that the one we need? Nope, close. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. 4 pieces are kind of tough to find the right one. No, that's a 3-piece. Come on, let's find that 4-piece we need. So question, do they have to clear terrain before overriding it with another? You don't have to. Some textures you can just overwrite on top of one another, which I'll show you in just a second. Let me find this 4-piece and then we'll see, this is, it's the wrong piece on the bottom. This is the wrong piece at the top. That is not right either. That's not right either. Trying to find this correct piece here. You know what we could do is actually go back and let's put our 3-piece back in there. What we'll do is we'll kind of put, oh, wrong one. Where is it? 3-piece. There. Nope. Come on, get the right one. There we go. And we'll have it actually come up into this piece up here and connect. So let's see, we need a, what do we need? We need a curve up to the top here, right? Right there we are. Poof. So we'll curve that one up, and now we need a little Y piece that goes down to the bottom too. Nope. 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 Getting close. Getting close. Nope. There, that might be it. Right there. Nope. Close. There it is. Alright, took us a little while. Alright, let's scroll back up to the top here. Now we need curve around the opposite direction, please. We need it to go, okay, let's do it like this. There we go. Now we'll throw it a diagonal there. So all I'm doing is using my scroll button right now. Release date is February 25th. So just a few days from now. Go like that. Go like this. We'll go back with this. And then we'll throw in a couple straights. We'll actually get rid of this Sherman. Delete unit from map. There we go. Alright, so that way it'll be easier for us to figure out which road we need to use. We need... Alright. Let's see, we need it to go like that. That looks pretty good. Now, I'm thinking about also connecting this road over this way as well. So of course, as that is the case, then we're going to need this piece like that. And yeah, so Thursday is a full release for you guys. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. You'll be able to start working on your own scenarios, your own creations. There we go. So now we got a little bit better flow. The British can come up this way and come in kind of in the middle, or some of the units can circle around to the bottom edge and come around this way. This way they're not like right here in the begin, you know, right off the bat. So we talked a little bit about actually having your units, the flow of the map and such. So let's go ahead and just delete those 2 units as well. There we go. Alright, so that's pretty much our map as we go. So we have, last time we actually created a couple zones up here for the British player to bring in his units, and of course we have a separate zone, which is zone number 2, that we're going to bring in the vehicles. So this way we know the vehicles will actually start on the road. And again, if I wanted to get rid of those zones, I'm just going to click on Zone 2. And actually, I would have to go to Clear Terrain. No, I have to go to Paintbrush mode. There we go. And just click on them to add them in or out. Some of the textures, somebody had asked earlier about do you have to clear terrain before you can override it. Some of them you do, some you do not. Like, for example, if I go to the road, let's find a piece here. If I don't like the road the way it is, all I have to do is choose any road piece, and I can basically put it in there and it'll get rid of that piece, as you can see. And then I can choose the piece I want and add it back in. Other terrain, like the woods here, if I go to woods, you can see when I click on the woods it doesn't actually clear it out. So it just depends on the kind of piece it is. If I wanted to clear the woods out, I would actually have to go to the clear terrain and then click on the woods like that. So it just depends on what the texture actually is in the game there. Let's go ahead and fill that in like that. Alright, and let's add in a few more pieces of grain like there we go. And yeah, what do you think? You like that? Does that look a little better? What do you guys think? Alright, so we've got that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to assign some units to the actual map. We've got some zones available up here. For the British, we've assigned these units to that zone. If we scroll over, you can see actually some of these are assigned to the zone. Again, if you have any units that are free placement, you want to make sure that you actually have these units on the map. If you do not have these units on the map, you can actually place them anywhere, which we don't want to have. So we're going to insert this unit on the map, and we're just going to put him in this building right here. You can see that now he is a bold lettering, which means he is in a map, and of course he has a hex coordinate as well. So we need to do the same thing for this guy. There we go. Alright, so what I want you guys to think of, we are, if you're just joining us, this is from last week. We started our map creation process, and then we started putting a scenario together. In a little bit we're going to name this scenario, and so I want to think of a nice cool name for our scenario. It's basically the Germans are in this town here. Obviously they're trying to keep control of the town. We have several locations. This location here is the SS headquarters, and this is the location of the prison barracks for the French. So our main objectives is to take over the British SS headquarters and free the prisoners in the barracks. We have a side objectives. There are some British supplies up here. That's worth 3 victory points if we can get through supplies. And then there's some maps in this building here. So another side objective. This is worth 5. This is worth 5. This is worth 1, and these are worth 3. We can always check that out by going to settings and go to our victory conditions. You can see where the hexes are set up and their value and who currently owns them. So we need a nice cool name for our scenario. Again, we're trying to destroy the SS headquarters, take it over, find some maps, free the French prisoners, and obviously get some supplies. We are using British units and German units, so probably 1944 or 45, I'm thinking. So we got a 40-year tactical gamer. Excellent. Excellent. Very nice. I'm not quite that old of a gamer, but I have been playing for probably 25 years or so. So that's kind of shows you we're outdating ourselves here, I guess. So we've got our free placement units in there. We've got other units that are in Zone 1. We have a couple tanks that are coming in. One is the Cromwell, which is in Zone 2. And we have another one which is a free placement, so we are going to put this one on the map. Again, what we'll do is we'll actually put it right there on the edge. And of course, this is going to show us our facing, just to make things a little easier for the players. I'm going to actually click on this, and I'm going to turn its facing. Oh, I have to select the vehicle. There we go. Oh, and I got to turn it the right way. That always helps. Click on it and rotate it. So now its facing is here, so you can move into this hex, etc., etc., and then choose which path he wants to take down. So we need to add a few more units again. Coming up here to the leg units, we're going to click on the British. We're going to add in. We're going to add in a couple more first line units that are seasoned. Seasoned. That's right. We're seasoned veterans. So in honor of us, we're going to go with seasoned troops for the British. So we're going to do that, and we're going to add that in there. And of course, our seasoned troops, where did he go? We can come over here to the free placement. There we are. Alright, so there's our first line seasoned troops. And we want to make a few more of them, so we're just going to come up to the OOB and click on clone unit. We're going to clone 5 more of them. Five more. We'll give them a total of 6. So we'll have a nice little force down here for the British to come in. And of course, now we have to assign these guys to the map. So we're just going to click on them. And we can have up to 3 squads in a hex, so we'll go ahead and put 3 squads in a hex. And we'll put these guys there in that location. And now, of course, we're going to add in a couple more British leaders. So leaders' qualities go from A being the best to D being the worst. And then you can get some that are of obviously each little star is a better bonus that they're going to give your units. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the British 1 good veteran down here, and we're going to insert them right there. And then we're also going to give them 1 not so good leader. We'll give him a D with a star. There we go. And we'll just make him a seasoned, and we'll give that to them. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squads and 2 leaders up here. So let's go ahead and give them another leader up at the top. Again, we'll kind of mix and match them a little bit. We'll give 1 C, and we'll make him a seasoned. And we'll actually, let's go ahead and remove that, because I wanted to show you, yes, we will remove the unit. That will actually remove it. I forgot to actually assign that to group 1. So we're going to make it a C, and instead of free placement, we're going to assign it zone 1, and we'll make it as seasoned. So that's an extra leader for those guys. Now, I don't think we actually showed you this when we did our live stream last week, but we're going to assign a few extra items for our squads here. So it's pretty easy. All we're going to do is select our squad, and once it's selected here, all we have to do is come up to support weapons up here at the top and click on it, and it's going to ask us what do we want to assign to them: a light machine gun, medium machine gun, heavy machine gun, demo charges, flamethrowers, a Piat, an AT rifle, a mortar for airborne, and a 51 mortar or a radio. So in this case, I think what we're going to do is give them a couple light machine guns up here at the top. So we'll just randomly choose a few guys and add in some light machine guns there. So light machine gun. And then what we'll do is we'll add in a couple Piats and another Piat. So 2 anti-tank weapons and 3, what do we have? 3 light machine guns for the northern units there. And then for our southern units, we know we can tell what they are because they're highlighted in blue. They're bold, so we can just click on these guys. I know they're down here at the south end. And we're going to give these guys a couple weapons as well. Light machine gun. We're actually going to give one of these squads a nice medium machine gun. And we're going to give this squad a Piet. Alright. And let's just make sure. Okay, these guys have been assigned to the top. Good, good, good. Everything looks good. Alright. Yep. You're not going to actually see any of the counter information number-wise, what the actual values are between the different, if the light machine gun for the British has a different attack value than the Germans. The designer has decided that he is going to let people focus in on playing the game as opposed to worrying about whether or not they have the proper amount of firepower and such. So I think that's a good decision, because I myself have played ASL face-to-face and on Vassal, and you can have many people take exceptionally long time to actually play the game because they're so worried about getting every little ounce of power out of their units and really manipulating it that way. Alright, so let's go ahead and assign another weapon to this guy. Let's give him a I think that's pretty good. Actually, I'm not going to assign that. So we've yes, cancel. Thank you. So we got a light machine gun, a Piet, a medium machine gun, a couple good, one good sergeant, a not so good sergeant down there, and of course a Sherman. So lots of different toys for the person to play with. All right, so now we're going to set up the Germans. And the other thing I want to do is we're going to have these forces come in, and then what I want to do is I actually want to have the British get reinforced later in the scenario. So what I'm going to do is actually choose a British. We're going to choose. Let's choose the Sherman 3 again, because that's what we brought up originally, was the Sherman 3. I think that's that. So we already have a Sherman 3 that came in here. We'll say there's another one, but it's back farther, and it's going to take a couple turns to get up here. So actually, it's going to come in and turn number 3. There we go. And it's going to come in on... We're going to have it come in on Great Britain Zone number 4. Now, we haven't assigned Zone 4 yet, but we will here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see that this unit is now there. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, he's down here under turn number 3. There he is. Alright, so we do need to assign Great Britain Zone 4. So for Great Britain Zone 4, we are going to assign that space right there. Or that space. Oops. Great Britain Zone 4, yes. I got to go into paint mode. That's why. Alright, so that one right there, or this one. So it gives them a choice. They can bring them in here to bring them down to the south, or they can put them here to bring them to the north, or they can bring them here and come this way. Either way they want to go. So that will be Zone 4. That'll be our Sherman that shows up in turn 3. Can you easily move a unit in the OOB from one turn to another? That's a great question, actually. And I haven't actually tried that. So, let's see if there's a way. If I click on the actual unit, there is a modify. So we'll modify it. And yeah, we can just change it from turn 3 to turn 4, just like that. Boom. We can also change what zone it comes in. We can change whether it's immobilized or computer controlled. So Hopefully that answers your question for you. That's a great question. I haven't actually tried that, so it's a good thing to learn. Yes, sir. Thanks for the question. So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to work on the Germans here, and what I want to do with the German setup is for quickness and ease, we're just going to make a couple zones for the German. And this way you can play this scenario over and over and over again, because instead of having the static defenders, if the computer will randomly assign its units into different spots in the zone. So that will make it really much replayability on it. Just trying to think of the best way to phrase that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create German Zone 1. And again, we've got to go back into paintbrush mode. So we'll have like a northern group, and we'll have a southern group. And the computer can, will assign units to the north group, and the computer can randomly assign where he wants the units to go. So we'll have units like that. Yes. And it always helps if you don't mess up and choose the wrong side. So disregard what I was doing there. That's British. I should have realized that because it's got the British symbol on it. That's what happens when I'm looking at the chat. We'll make German Zone 1 now. There we go. Alright, hey, look at that. Alright, so we'll have a... We'll have it kind of split like this. There we go. So you're never sure where the computer is actually going to put his units. And we'll do something like that. What do you think? That looks pretty good. So this way all we have to do is create a bunch of German units, assign them to group 1, and whether you're the computer player or you're playing against the AI will randomly determine where to put its units. If you're playing the German side, it'll actually allow you to place those down before the scenario starts. So what I think I'm going to do is that's a little bit too close. But what I might do is just throw in something like that, just to make the British think, yeah, there could be guys in here. And you know what? We might actually put one like that. Again, just so that, the British player, if he's just moving his units up crazy, you never know. There might be somebody there. There might not. Now we're going to just do Zone 2 on the bottom. And again, we're just going to assign this zone, this zone, this zone. And then we'll... Have you guys come up with a good name for this scenario yet? So something like that-ish. That looks pretty good. And we'll actually assign a couple road hexes like that, and this one. So there we go. So we got Zone 1 kind of up there, but it's kind of split by the road. So we know in our heads that from this road down is Zone 2. So that'll be easier for us to keep track of. Alright. So now we're just going to go over and get out of paint mode. And we're just going to assign a whole bunch of units here. So we're just going to try to balance things out a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give, I'm going to actually take off, well, let's save our scenario because we made a lot of changes to it. So I'm going to save it. And again, I'm going to go to the Matrix Games folder, Tigers on the Hunt, Scenarios, and I'm going to actually call this live stream A scenario number 2. So that way I have a backup copy in case something happens. I always like to save my files that way. This way I can go back. If something gets corrupted with version 2, I can always go back to version A. I don't have to create it from scratch. Although, to tell you the truth, I'm having a ton of fun with my map creations and my scenario creations. It has been a ton of fun. So having to recreate it from scratch would not hurt me at all. Alright, so we are actually going to give the German player is going to start with the Panzer IV-F1. And it's going to come in. It's going to start in turn 1, and instead of assigning it to a zone, I want this to actually be on the map in a certain spot. So I'm going to assign this. I'm going to set it right there. There we go. Alright, not only that, but the lucky German player is going to get another Panzer IV-F. This we'll give him an F1, but this one's not going to come in till turn number 5, towards the end of the scenario. And again, we are going to assign this. I'm going to actually give it Zone 4. And I know we haven't created Zone 4 yet, so let's go ahead and do that so we don't forget. And what we're going to do with Zone 4 is we're going to give the player a choice. Oh, we have to go to paint mode. He can bring it in from up here. He can bring it from up here. He can bring it in from here, or he can bring it from down here. So his choice where he's going to be able to bring that in. So the next thing we have to think about is our length of the scenario. It defaults to, and we haven't really done much with this yet, but this is our scenario attributes. And guys, I need you guys to come up with a scenario name. You guys are not helping me here. Give me a nice title here. You know, again, we're trying to destroy the German SS headquarters, free the prisoners, find some supplies, and gather the maps that are located in this building here. I think what we're going to do is actually make it 8 turns long. For day visibility, we're going to make it 10 hexes. Night visibility, we're not going to worry about, because that will be a campaign game. No OBA for either side in this scenario. But what we might do is on the last turn, the British have one last chance to try to gather the points. So this way they don't have to worry about the Germans trying to take them back. So the German zone hexes do not seem to have the numbers on them like they do the British. Yes, they actually do. The problem is, I will go ahead and get out of this. I need a date for us too. Somebody give us a nice scenario name and date, or else I'm just going to randomly. The problem is it's kind of hard to see because the text is actually blue. I think what they need to do is make this like an orange text or something. But I can actually see it. You might not be able to see it because you're not zoomed in as much as I am. But it actually says 111, 2. I can see them, but they're very light. I wish they would. I wish they would actually change the color of them. Maybe you know, like a bright red or something might be cool. Whatever works. I guess white even would work. But because the British ones are blue and their background is a yellow, it stands out really nicely. I did notice that myself. Alright, so we got that tank coming in turn 4, which is cool because we now have we got an 8-turn scenario instead of a 4-turn scenario. Okay, so we're going to call this Salt on, and someone Google a French village in World War II that we can name this French village after. And we're going to choose August 22nd, 1944. August 22nd, 1944. Salt on, and again, I just need the name of a British town. And we'll say OK to that. Alright, so now for ease of use, like I said, we're just going to assign a bunch of units to Zone 1 to Zone 2 here. We're going to have some German. Let's see, the headquarters is in Zone 2, so we'll give some SS units to Zone 2. For Zone 1 up here, these guys are just going to be some elite units. Turn 1 and, of course, Zone 1. And we're going to give them seasoned as well. And we'll say OK. And what we'll do is, there they are. Of course, we want to give them a couple more of those units, so we're just going to clone that unit. Again, anytime you clone a unit, it takes all the characteristics of the unit you are actually cloning. So in this case, it will take it'll take all the important information that we want. We'll give these guys 6 units on the top. Give them 7 units on the top. So there's a French town west of Caen in the British sector in Normandy. Beautiful. Alright, so we'll actually adjust our date now. Thank you so much. Alright, so we've now cloned that unit there. So he's going to have about, what do we decide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squads up here in the top. And these squads we're not going to give them too much firepower because obviously they're the defenders, so we don't want them to be too hard for the British to come in. So we're only going to give them actually a couple. We'll give them 1 Panzerfaust to help with that tank. We will also give this guy a light machine gun. And we'll give one more we'll give him a Panzerschreck. Alright, so while I'm thinking about it, let's go back into this. So it was closer to D-Day, so obviously that was June 6th, so we're going to make it June 22nd. So it took them a little while, obviously, to break out of the beaches of Normandy there. So how does June 22nd sound? And we're going to use the assault on Colvan. C-O-U, oops, that's not a U, C-O-U-L-V-A-I-N. Thank you so much for your help there. Assault on Colvan. How about assault on the Colvan's headquarters. Q-U-A-R-T-E-R. Assault on the Colvan's headquarters. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, good job, guys. Alright, so again, we don't want to give them too many good things up here being the defenders, but we don't want their tanks to just run around haphazardly. We want to have a few. So we got a Panzerschreck, we have a Panzerfaust. We're actually going to assign another Panzerfaust. There we go. Just to make the British player, you know, a little more wary about moving his tanks around. The other thing I noticed when I was looking at this map this morning, there is a few of these shell holes on the map, but I'm actually not liking that so much, so we're actually going to go back in while I'm thinking about it and remove those shell holes. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but I was telling you it depends on the texture you're using. So for shell holes, it's actually click on to create, click on to remove. So you know, very easy to add in shell holes and remove shell holes. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the shell holes on this particular map. And with that said, I'm not a big fan of this rubble there either. So what I'm going to actually do is switch over to our wood rubble, get rid of it. And instead we are going to put down a wood building. And what I'm thinking is maybe a 2 hex building here that kind of separates between these two units there. So I'll have to do is scroll down the list till I see an A, B. So there's an A there. There's a B right there. So there we go. And it's not the same one, so it looks good. What do you guys think of that? I think that looks pretty good. A little bit better. again, if we just remove this completely off the map, just by having that avenue, it allows the tanks to maneuver a little bit easier. So the question is, do we want to have a building here? We can put more woods in here and prevent the tank from coming across, or of course we can put the building here, which would obviously keep the unit from coming across. So every little decision you make obviously is going to influence how your scenario plays. So I think I actually like having the building in there because there is a lot more open terrain down here in the south. So that is very more open. So if they want, if they want to bring their tank in, they can bring it down in here if they want to maneuver around a little bit. So, all right. So we've got some squads, a few Panzerfaust and a Panzerschreck, one light machine gun. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squads. So we need a couple leaders in there as well. So German, we're going to give them just C leaders. We're going to assign them to Zone 1, and we're going to make them veteran as well. So, again, all we have to do is click on it, come up here to the OOB, clone unit, and we'll actually make 2 more. So that'll give it a total of 3. So we have 3 leaders and a bunch of squads up here with some support weapons. They have a defensive tank. Don't forget they have a tank coming in turn 4 as well. And now we just have to get our southern flank down here. Again, what I'm going to do is file. I know I've already saved it as our second save, so I'm just going to go ahead and save. So in case something happens, again, I'm just using a pre-released version of the game. So just in case there's any bugs or issues and the game crashes, I don't want to lose everything. So save often when you're creating your stuff, your scenarios. Okay, guys? I tell people that all the time, and then I work in IT support, and they call me up and go, guess what? I didn't save, and I worked on this document all day. Can you get it back for me? Nope. Sorry. We'll give them one more. No, I think they got enough weapons there. Light machine gun, they're going to have their own inherent firepower. The British units that we are assigned up there, they actually have light machine gun, light machine gun, light machine gun, 2 Piets. They only have 2 sergeants assigned to Great Britain Zone 1. Let's just verify. What is this guy down here? No, we have a third one. Okay, so we have 3 leaders. And what we might want to do is to give them we'll give them one medium machine gun. So actually, that'll help hopefully to break through the defenses that are up here in the top. Alright, so for our southern flank now, same thing. We're just going to assign some some German units, and of course we're going to use the Waffen SS. Of course, these are automatic veteran, and we're going to assign these to Great Britain Zone 2, and they're going to come in turn number 1. And of course, we're going to highlight this guy and OOB clone unit, and we're going to give them 6 more, so that'll give them 7 units. And also we need some leaders down there, so of course they're going to be very good leaders. So we're actually going to give them a lieutenant with 2 stars. So these guys are going to be a tough nut to crack, that is for sure. And I messed it up. So what I can do is click on it and come up here to modify again. We want to make sure we have this guy assigned to Zone 2. And he will be a veteran as well. So big bonus, big help. He's going to be able to rally units pretty good. And then we're going to make another one, German leader, that is a B with a single star, Zone 2, and a veteran as well. So southern flank is going to be pretty tough. Of course, we'll give these guys a couple weapons as well. Light machine guns. A Panzerfaust. And we'll give them a demo charge as well. In fact, we'll give them a couple demo charges. That way, if the British get a little too spunky and come up, they can pay for it. So they're gonna be pretty tough. So now I'm feeling that this is gonna be a tough nut to crack. We're gonna have to bump up the British units. What do you guys think? Scenario-wise, we got the Sherman coming into turn 3. We have the extra German tank coming in on turn 5. So it's only going to be around a couple turns, but if the Germans are getting crushed, he'll be able to come in and rescue them or help rescue them. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. We're also going to assign some German SS units that are going to come in on turn 5, and they're also going to be coming in on turn zone number 4. Yes, that is a 4. So they're going to come in on 4. We're going to have 2 of those guys come in at the last minute to try and rescue them. So we can make a copy of that guy, clone him, 1 copy. So 2 of them, and we'll add in 1 leader as well. German leader, he is going to be a C with a star. He's going to come in turn 4. Wait a minute, cancel. What turn are these guys coming in? Turn 5, yes, okay. Back to what we were doing. German, C star, turn 5, zone 4, veteran. Okay, there we go. So we got that tank coming in. We have a leader, pretty decent leader, and some extra German squads coming in. A few more Brits on turn 3 to accompany the Sherman. Sounds like a beautiful idea. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Alright, so let's do that. So Sherman's coming in turn 3 again. They'll come in here. So what I'm actually going to do is just expand our zone 4 a little bit more, just to give them a little bit more zones to bring in our units. Okay. And I think we'll assign like that, so they don't have to start right on the edge. It'll kind of give them a little boost to get in a little bit quicker that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I mean, yeah, 1 turn they can make it here. So let's do that. So we'll expand our zone 4 just slightly bigger, and then what we'll do is right. So this time, British units. We're going to give them elite. They're going to come in on Great Britain Zone 4. They're going to come in turn number 3. We're going to give these guys some. They're going to be some veteran units coming in to help support. And where are they? Here they are. So again, highlight them in blue and clone them, and we're going to give them 5 more units. That'll be a total of 6. And then we'll give them a leader as well. We'll give them actually a C star leader coming in turn 3. Great Britain Zone 4, and he's going to be a veteran as well. And then we're going to actually clone this guy as well. And we're just going to clone 1 more of them. There we go. So you can see turn 3 is going to arrive. 6 squads, 2 sergeants, and Sherman. And what I want to do is assign a couple more light machine guns to these guys as well. Two light machine guns and a demo charge. These are going to be kind of, they're elite units, so they should have some pretty good backup here. Let's see what we have. We have two light machine guns, a demo charge, and let's give them a medium machine gun to help crack. These guys are going to be pretty tough nut to crack. They have some pretty elite units. They're elite units to begin with, and they have some elite leaders. So their morale, they're going to be able to come back from being broken pretty easily. So I guess this initial setup for the British is, kind of come up here and get involved with these guys as quickly as possible, and then get your reinforcements in there to help you. Because if they wait till turn number 5, that's when the Germans are coming in with some guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this again. If you create a squad or a unit, can you give it a custom name? I haven't been paying attention to the dialog box instead of just squad. No, I don't think so. Let's take a look. Nope. It's going to allow you just to choose from a list. And it's going to take that, whatever it is, and assign it an ID number. And then the rest of your, its quality, and then where it's located as well. So, alright, so let's go ahead and save it again. So we made a lot of changes to it. But we've added in some things that we haven't shown in some of our other episodes here. This is really a great way if you wanted to create a scenario really fast. You get your map boards, you make your map boards, you just assign an area, just assign a lot of units to that area, and the same thing, assign the enemy, assign them an area, and just assign a bunch of locations or a bunch of units to those different areas, and then you're ready to go. Because in the pre-game setup, that's when you assign units to the actual map board. So what we're doing here is just kind of showing you different ways to do things and how the editor works. So we've actually named our scenario, but one of the things I want to show you guys is actually I'm going to exit out of the scenario. We just saved it, right? Save, yes? Okay. So I'm going to actually edit out of the scenario and actually go into the game, and what will happen is I'm not going to actually show you guys too much here, but what I wanted to show you was, you see that each one of the scenarios here that comes with the game comes with this nice little text here, and it tells you about the information about the scenario, what units are included in the scenario, how many maps it is, the terrain, the scenario length, the victory objectives, and of course who designed this scenario. So what we want to do is we want to create this for our scenario here. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you guys that so you guys can get a gist of what we're doing next. Okay, if you do something like I did here, and you can see our scenario, we just have a big empty box here, so that's not cool. We don't like big empty boxes. We want to fill this in with some cool little description of what's going on in our scenario. Alright, so what we have to do is I'm going to show you how to actually create that file that we need to do for our scenario we just created. So if we go into our Matrix Games folder, go into Tigers in the Hunt, and we actually go into scenarios here, you can see that every scenario in the game actually has a little text file that's associated with it. If we look at our scenario here, you can see that our scenarios don't actually have the little text file in them. so we don't get any text in there. So this is all we have to do is create a little. What we have to do is just create a little text file that talks about our scenarios. So actually, what I did was I took a couple of the different files, and I made just an empty base scenario text one. So when I double-click that, it actually brings it up on my other monitor. But this is the information that I'm getting that I've saved from the other modules. And now all I have to do is go in here and quickly and easily assault on COULVA, assault on Colvain's headquarters. There we are. So that'll give us our name, assault on Colvain's headquarters, the date. I think we decided, oops, that's the wrong thing here. We decided to have June 22nd, 1944. Location is going to be village of Coulvain. Then, of course, this is the history part, is we're going to type in the British forces are tasked with assaulting ASSAULT, assaulting the German held town of Coulvain and CAPTUR, capturing the French prisoners and destroying the SS headquarters. There we go. So of course if you had more, obviously if you had more information about the scenario, you just type that in there. Alright, so 22nd June 1944. There we go. Alright, so down here is going to list what kind of squads and units are going to be. So we have squads, we have light machine guns, I think they had medium machine guns, we had Panzerschrecks, Panzerfausts. We don't have any ordnance, we don't have any OBA, but we do have AFVs. So I can just squads, light machine guns, AFVs. We don't actually have any bazookas. We don't have any ordnance, and we don't have any OBA, but we do have, what do we have? Demo charges. Oh yes, almost forgot that up here as well. Demo charges, light machine guns, medium machine guns. And this way, the person that's going to play your scenario can look at your list and, oh, and hey, we don't want Russians in here, do we? We want British. Squads, light machine guns, medium machine guns, demo charges, AFVs. Yes, Germans. Oh, see, I'm looking at the chat and I'm one step ahead of you. Actually, what I would like to do is I would actually set up first and do something like that, and then move first. I think that actually is going to help. And then, of course, scenario special rules. If you had any special rules, I know I created a scenario the other day that was like a British paratrooper scenario, and there were some special rules, so you could only play it as the British side or the Americans. I think it was the Americans. They were the 101st Airborne Division, and what I had to do was assign each of them a demo charge, so there's a special rule that said, you can only play this as the American side. So special rules, we're going to put none units come onto map in turns. What did we decide? There were 3 and 5. It's 2 maps. The terrain is going to be rural with a wooden village buildings. There we go. Scenario ranked. I just have a question mark in there. So what we decided was 8 turns, I believe. And then there are several different victory objectives. So I'm just going to select the one that matches our scenario and delete the other ones. So in this case, the side with the most victory points at the end is the winner. Both sides gets victory points for controlling victory objectives, which is what I want. So I'm just going to take these other ones and delete them. And then, of course, I have it as a scenario designer, which is me. All right. So set up first, Germans, move first, British. We got squads, light machine guns, medium machine guns, demo charges, Panzerfaust, Panzerschrecks, and AFVs. British squads, light machine guns, medium machine guns, demo charges, AFVs. I think that was it. All right. So now what I want to do is all I have to do is go to File, Save As. Because right now I'm just using this as my base scenario text template. And I go Save As. And I'm actually, you can see all the other ones listed here. And I'm just going to rename this one to Assault. Assault on Coulvain's headquarters. I think that's how we spelled it. Coulvain''s headquarters. And we hit save. I should note that your name of your file, I believe, has to match the actual name of the scenario so it knows what to pull this information from. So if we go back into our editor now, let's take a look and see if we actually have our cool little text. If we come down to, where is our scenario? Oh, we haven't actually saved our scenario. We've named it as Livestream A Scenario 2. Yeah. So that is why we don't actually see our scenario name. So what we have to do is go back to the editor. Yes, he's one step ahead of me in the chat. We're going to actually open our scenario. And of course, we've got it saved as Livestream A Scenario 2. So we're going to open that. There's all of our information. We're going to go to File, Save As. And now this time what we want to do is we want to name it Assault on Coulvain's headquarters.txt. You can see the text file there. So what I'm going to do is just click on that. And then I'm going to remove the part at the end that says .text. Because I want it actually to be saved as a scenario file. Alright, so make sure you remove the .text at the end of it, because this is the actual scenario. Now we should hit save and exit out. Alright, and now if we go back into the actual game, we should see our Assault on Coulvain's headquarters. Right there we are. And you can see all of our wonderful text that we put in there. So there's the name of it, the date, the history of it, all the information. Of course, it has a nice scroll bar here for us. So I think what I'm actually going to do is go back to our text file here, and I'm actually going to remove some of this. Some of this was just name holders for me. So I know first thing I want to do is I want to put in the name of it. So that's what we did there. Next thing I want to do is remove the date, and I want to remove where it actually says location. So these are just placeholders for me. let's put in near the village of Colvane. There we go. Alright, our history, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Alright, now file, save it, and bring it back up and see how it looks now in our list. Assault on Colvane's headquarters. There we go. Right at the top. Assault on Colvane's headquarters, 22nd of June 1944, near the village of Colvane. The British forces are tasked with assaulting the German-held town of Colvane and capturing the British prisoners and destroying the SS headquarters. Of course, I would spend some more time actually typing in some more history on the actual battle, and all that, but I'm not going to spend the time here in our little live stream. We have all the different units, so there we go. That works perfectly. Again, the name of your text file and the name of the scenario obviously have to match, so that way it knows what the information is to pull from. Alright, so let's just go back in and make sure, now that we could open our scenario here. Assault on Colvane's headquarters. We can just double check to see and make sure. One of the things, again, we want to make sure anything that's not bold actually has a zone, because we don't want a free placement. The last thing you want to do is load up your scenario and have British units popping in the middle of your defenses, or having German units pop over here on this side of the map. So we just want to make sure everything here is assigned. I wish there was a way to use that a little bit wider, but unfortunately there is not at this point. Again, I'm using a pre-released version of the game, so in that case, just want to make sure everything has a zone, and anything that says free placement is a bold, so that way I know we're not going to end up doing something a little crazy. Alright, so looks pretty good. Again, we can just fine tune it a little bit, decide. You know what we might do is add in German Zone 2. Remember, that's our southern flank here. We might add in a couple just forward positions there that they could go into. And then what I might do is actually remove these, so that way these guys will kind of be isolated. They can't have too many units just out there. We don't want to have just, a couple units out there just to surprise them would be good, but nothing that's going to just be too crazy. So just a couple units. In fact, we might do something like that. That looks pretty good. And then what we can do is go to German Zone 1, and they've got 2 there. We got 2 there. So that worked out pretty good. I like that. All right, last chance for you guys that are watching live. If you're not watching live, of course, you can watch this afterwards. Be sure to check out the Matrix Game YouTube channel. I will upload it to my channel as well. You can watch this afterwards. But do try to join us, so that way you can participate in the chat, ask questions, or all the other fun stuff that you can do. So last chance, if anybody sees anything that they would like to get altered or changed, we could have we could build a road here for the tank to come forward a little easier instead of having to loop around. We could connect roads over here. We can connect this road here. We could add more cover for the British. We could put in some water hexes, so that kind of restricts, where people can go. Yep. Water, you have to actually go to the clear button to clear the water off. Alright, no suggestions, so I think what we'll do is just file, save it one more time. You can see the actual scenario name down here at the bottom. Scenario name, Assault on Colvain's Headquarters. And we'll just hit the save button. That will update our file on the end. So now what we want to do is actually load it up in the actual game and get a chance to show you guys how the setup works. Then we can save the file, and I believe Wednesday night. Let's see, today's Monday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to finish our Assault, Revenge for Bruno. We've been working on scenario gameplay. That'll be Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we will probably play this scenario here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're actually going to load it up. You see our wonderful text there. And we're actually going to start a new game. Of course, we're going to make the computer play the defender, the hold position. The British will be advancing, will be human. Our difficulty, it's a tough decision. We've been playing all of our scenarios in normal, but I think I'm going to do is play this one on hard. And the difference between these are whether or not you have command control for the human player, command and control for the computer player. Neither one has command and control, or both of them have command and control. So what we're going to do is we're going to play it on hard. And on hard, we both have command and control issues. So Fog of War, we can either enable or disable it. Obviously, we're going to keep it enabled. And then the path quality, you want to turn that up as high as you can based on your computer speed. Give the computer all the AI you possibly can. So there we go. Now we're going into pregame setup segments. The Germans did theirs. Alright. So they have randomly assigned just that quickly all those units. You can see that we have some units here, down here at the bottom, that are going to come in on turn 1. So we're going to highlight it. It's going to make our counter actually look like a little unit. And then we're going to be able to put it into a box. Now, I should not be able to put it here. Sorry, invalid setup zone. Yay, we did it right. Thank God. If I try to put it in setup zone number 2, it'll probably give us a different message. Sorry, invalid setup zone. You idiot, you must place it in zone 1. That's what I would put as a text. Alright, so we're going to start assigning our units here. So we got that. We have another squad. We'll put them there. Another squad. We'll put them there. A medium machine gun. We're going to put these guys in the building. We have another squad with a light machine gun. We're going to put these guys there. We're going to start filling out our ranks with a couple other. This guy's got a Piet, so we're going to put him there. Another squad, we're going to put them in our hex right there. Notice our units that we had not assigned to the zone that we placed on the map. Notice they are exactly where we put them. We have one more squad to deal with. I guess we'll put them right there. Alright, so now we got a couple leaders. Assign a leader there. Assign a leader there. Assign a leader to right there. We have our Cromwell. Now notice again, try to put it out there. No good. Try to assign it to 4. No good. Try to assign it to group 1. No good. Finally, we will put it where it's supposed to go. And we will click on it and adjust our starting facing here. And once again. And once again. So, actually, let's go back one more. So we can go, nope, I think I like the other one better. So we're going to assign it, scroll up, thank you. Alright, so that'll be our facing right there. We can, of course, have our turret at a different facing if we wanted to. In the game, can you toggle the visibility of setup zones on or off? The setup zones only appear during the pregame setup or when you have units coming on. So the rest of the time you won't actually see them. And I'll show you that here as soon as we get done setting our units up. We'll click past this and they will disappear for you guys. So we still have some more units here. Wow, we have a ton of units. Oh, no, this shows our units that are... Okay, I was going to say, we should not have that many units. These are the ones that we already had assigned and what hex they're in. Okay, I was going to say, wow, that is a ton of units. So everyone else is in a location, and it kind of has a nice overview for you. I actually like that because you might forget, oh, what did I have in there? And you can actually look. Again, you can see what hex you're in by just mousing over it and looking up here in the top right-hand corner. So we know that this hex is 1925, so I could just scroll up or down my list till I get to 1925. And I don't actually see this. Oh, well, I can click on it. That's why. Okay. Oh, these are the units we just placed on the map. Duh. Okay, I've never actually done that, so yeah, I apologize. So these are the units we actually placed and where their hexes are on the map. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I was thinking these are these units down here, but okay. So there we go. We learned something new today. All right. So yeah, that shows us where we put our units. If you want to find out where your other units are, you just click on them, obviously. Duh. That's too neat, too quick, too easy, too cool. Now remember, we had set up this facing on this vehicle in the editor. Otherwise, it would default to, I think it defaults up to the northwest corner, I think is where it defaults to. Alright, now when we go to done with our pregame setup, we go right into the administrative segment here, and you notice all of our little boxes disappear. You don't see anything at all. You can turn on the victory point locations by this button right here. So if you want to see those or don't see those. I always like to leave those on because they don't take up much space. And I always like to know where I'm going. And of course you can always click on your order of battle here. So you can see what units you have, what hex they're in. And you can see if you have any reinforcements coming in, which obviously we have some coming in on turn number 3. So you can take a look at that. Obviously you can't see what the computer's got coming in, and you do not know that information. Of course, we can click on, let's close that out. We can click on our scenario attributes and find out all the information. We cannot change this now because that's built into our scenario. We know we have 8 turns. We can also tell up here in the top right hand corner it says turn 1 of 8. So there we go there. And it tells you the visibilities, 10 hexes, AR difficulties on hard, the AI attitudes on advanced, the path qualities on high, and you know the rest of the information about the actual scenario. You do see that only side B goes on the last turn, which is a nice little boost for the British at the last turn to grab that location. So the most important thing that will happen in the administrative segment here in the first turn is it'll show you your units that are in command and control. So let's hope we get a whole bunch of them that are in command and control. We went on to the fire segment, but you will see up here processing the human command and control. And we had a whole bunch of units in command, in command, in command, 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 in command. Very nice, very nice. Looks like everyone is in command. Yay for us. So we all passed our command and control check, which will get a lot tougher in command, in command. I'm just trying to make sure that they all are in command. Yes, so it looks like, I'm not sure if it defaults on turn 1 that everybody's in command and then from there it doesn't. But everybody's in command for turn number 1. So what I'm going to actually do is save this as Assault on Colvane's headquarters 1. Get rid of the little star. And of course I'm going to save it in my Tigers on the Hunt folder so I can pick this up with you guys on Thursday's full release, February 25th. Monday today we're doing this live stream. Tuesday 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time we're going to finish our Revenge for Bruno scenario, and then Wednesday at 9 o'clock, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will try and play a few turns of our scenario here and check out how we do. So, any last questions from anyone about the editor, about maps, about how to create the file for the text for your scenario? Anything that you guys can think of, just let me know. Let's just go ahead and end the scenario. We've got it saved, so we go back into the editor. So again, we've got lots of different, lots of little maps that come with the scenario. When you want to save your map, oh, this is one thing I will tell you. One last thing. Let's bring up our scenario again, which is, there it is. So all of these changes that we made on this map are not going to affect this map board at all. The map board, that all these, we connected roads, we got rid of all this stuff, we made a bunch of changes. The only thing that affects those map boards are when you import and export them. So if I export a map from a sector, in this case, I'm going to choose something that's like sector 11. Okay, it should tell me, oh, the sector's not 11 not used. Okay, so that would actually save that map board, the changes to it. But this map board is the same exact way it was without our changes. If we actually go into maps, I can. I'm not sure which map board it actually is, so it's a little hard for me to actually show you that. But any changes you make to any of the maps, just keep in mind that it will not change the default map board. You would have to export that out. So if I like the changes I like to this scenario, and I want to save this map board, I want to actually export this map from a sector and do it that way, and then it would save that map board, and I can just change a different. So let's say sector 2 here. I'm going to say OK, and then it's going to ask me what do I want to name it as. So if I happen to know that this is map board number 5, the default map board that comes with the actual game, what I might do is I might just call this one, okay, Tigers on the Hunt 005, and I'll just name it like B. So that way I'll have 2 copies of that map board, one with my changes and one that is just normal. If I don't put that B in and I hit the save button, I'm going to overwrite that map board and change it permanently from then on, ever and ever. Amen. So you don't want to do that. In fact, what I would suggest you might want to do is make a backup copy of your maps folder, so that way if you do override any of the default maps, you can always get those map files back. So in this case, I would just go Tigers on the Hunt 0005B, and I would hit save, and it would create a brand new file for me that's going to have all of my changes on it. And that's just, it's not going to have the units or any of the zones or anything like that. All it's going to do is have the actual changes to the map board. So, alright guys, I think we've been at it pretty good here. Showed you, we got our scenario finished. We showed you pretty much everything we can. I'll probably hang out in the chat for just a few minutes and see if anybody has any questions. But thanks for joining us today. And of course, look for Tigers on the Hunt to be released this Thursday, February 25th. And again, we'll be doing some more live streams on Tuesday and Wednesday for you guys leading up to the full release. Of course, check out the Matrix Games and Slytherin website for all the information about Tigers on the Hunt. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the next live stream, Tigers on the Hunt. See you then.